And this is what I'm talking about, the assumption that if you're in a place like that, you obviously are the help. Okay, example 2, that's it, white people. One more example, and then we're moving on, right? I'm on tour in the UK. I'm going up to Leeds. All my team was already up in Leeds setting up the theatre. I'm travelling with my tour manager and best friend, Lila, also a black woman. So I go, you know what? That's Lila. I go, you know what, Lila? Let's not drive. It's a long drive. Let's get a train and go up in comfort. So we rush down to the train station. I buy us 2 first-class tickets. There's a train leaving, so we jump on the train takes off. And we're walking through the train towards the first-class carriage. We walk into the first-class carriage. This white woman is sitting at a table. She looks up, she sees us, and at the top of her voice, she shouts, this is first class! Now Lila goes, what the fuck did you say? And I hold Lila, no, Lila, no. I just grab her by her collar, no, Lila, no. No, Lila, no, Lila, no. Watch me humiliate this bitch just with my mouth. Come back. So at the top of my voice, I say, thank you, lady. But what was it about us that made you assume that we didn't belong in the first-class carriage? She starts to fumble. Everybody on the train just kind of leans up from behind their seats. And she gets flustered. She's like, and then all she could think of was like, I thought you were lost. And I was like, how'd you get lost on a moving train going in one direction, bitch? How? Now, this woman was not alone. She was with her husband. Her husband was sitting opposite her at the table, same table. But we did not see her husband's face for this entire confrontation because the entire time he was hidden behind the newspaper, just... His hands never came down. All we saw were his knuckles just gripping that paper. And they were in their 60s. So they'd obviously been married a long time, and he's behind that newspaper going, ah! Nosy, big-mouth cow! 30 years we've been married, and every day of those 30 years I've said, mind your own fucking business! And now we're both gonna get beaten up by these 2 black boys.
I'm gonna explain the concept and naked attraction to you, and you're gonna think to yourself, Suze, previous to your gig tonight, did you nip outside and smoke some crack? Because that's how mental it is. Right, Emma, a girl walks out on stage, she's like, I'm looking for a boyfriend. And the host goes, brilliant, we've got 6 naked men in tubes behind. Then the host says to the girl, what are you looking for? And the girl will always do the same thing. She'll go, oh my God, you've really put me on the spot. And you think, no, you chose to come on this show, moron. She goes, well, I guess I'm looking for a boyfriend, but also a friend. I really like going to European city breaks, maybe someone that likes travel. And I really like music gigs as well, so maybe someone that likes music. And I guess if I'm being really honest, what I'm looking for is love. And the host goes, brilliant, let's see if you can find love by judging dongs. Okay? There's a screen in front of all of them. Every round, the screen goes up a little bit more to show a little bit more of the naked body. Every round, one man gets eliminated until the end. She's got a couple of nudie fellas to choose from. Okay? Now, Emma, first round, screen just goes up to their knees. There's always one bloke. He's got really rough feet. Really rough. Like he was an extra in The Hobbit. And he just never took the feet off afterwards, right? Now, she clearly looked at them feet and thought, well, them trotters ain't coming home with me, right? And you think, well, that's the end for him. Not the end. They don't shoot him. You think it's the end of the show for him, but it's not. It's not the end of the show, because he then has the indignity of the screen going the whole way up, so you see his penis and his face. Then he has the most awkward moment in television where he steps out of his tube, walks over to her and gives her the most uncomfortable hug you have ever seen. Well, you can tell all he is thinking is, don't touch the lady with your dick. Whatever you do, don't touch the stranger with your dick. And then his sad little ass walks off stage. Now, the next round, the screen comes up to the waist. And let's be honest, it is the round we are all watching for. It's cock-a-clock. Now, it's not going to come as a surprise to any of you. There's a lot of people in this evening. I bet it doesn't come as a surprise to one person in this room. I ain't seen many willies. I ain't seen many of them. I ain't seen many willies. I'm not a connoisseur when it comes to willies. I was straight for a month when I was 18. I don't have the wrists, okay? But even to me, even to the untrained eye, there was one that I was like, oh, there's something up with him. There was something just not quite right about it. They're not meant to have a corner, are they? Halfway through, it had like a proper corner. Now, she clearly looked at that one and went, ooh. She can't do that, can she? She's got to go work on Monday. She don't look like a bitch on TV. So instead, she has to do a little lie. Emma, see if you can see where she went wrong. She went, I'm going to have to get rid of number 4. Kind of weird dick. I'm going to have to get rid of number 4 because the way that he's standing, he doesn't really look like a very confident guy. And I'm only really attracted to really confident guys. And I thought, he has his penis out on television. How much more confident would you like this twat to be?
Oh, I want to be in a relationship. I want to try edible pants. You can't edible solo, they don't let you. I'm absolutely fascinated by them. Here's why. It must be someone's job to keep edible pants from being too delicious. Because they've got to be okay in context, but there's a team of scientists that's working day in, day out to make sure that none of us start craving them. Struggle being single. I'm a pick-me girl. Do you guys know what that is? A pick-me girl is a type of woman who's like me. I'm not like the other girls. Why? Because I like live music. Shackle me. I do like live music. Like sometimes I wonder if anyone's going to see the band Placebo thinking it was The Cure. So I do think about that stuff. Love live music. I went to see ABBA Voyage. Have you guys seen it? ABBA Voyage, if you haven't seen it, it's incredible. It's ABBA. They've got holograms now. But just before going into ABBA Voyage, I found out a little bit of industry gossip, and I'm going to share it with you because I was pissed off. ABBA, the band, they're not even dead. And they've got holograms, is it? You can't have holograms if you're alive. Hey, ABBA, go to work. ABBA Voyage, it's amazing. From start to finish, it's them at their best. They were 28 years old when they recorded it. Start to finish, them at their best. A bit like this. So, ABBA Voyage, at the end of ABBA Voyage, sometimes the real ABBA, they come out. But the problem is that at this point in your life, you've only known them as hot 28-year-olds. So when 76-year-old ABBA comes out, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like them. It looks like their parents have come to pick them up. I am a pick-me girl. I lie about my interests constantly, I do. My new thing now is I pretend to like football. No, I want to like football. I really do. I really respect it as a sport. My problem is too much of it has happened. And no one will let me catch up. Like, everyone needs to stop playing for like 5 years, and then I'll start casual, season 1, episode 1. Now, the real reason I'm trying to get into football is because basically I met this guy. Thank you. And, oh my God. So he told me that he could have Do you guys know him? That's weird. He does have a lot of friends. He said he could have gone professional. But then, and this is so sad, just before the trials, he didn't have the skills. He didn't have the skills, the work ethic, or the natural talent. So close.
I was such a fat kid. My mother used to buy bathing suits with blowholes in them. It was just... But my parents... I don't want to go into my childhood here because it's wrong. My parents hated me, okay? We're all going to hear the story, aren't we? My parents hated me too. My parents... All I ever heard growing up is, why can't you be like your cousin Sheila? Why can't you be like your cousin Sheila? Sheila had died at birth. They just... Whenever we would go, like, in front of a street, each parent would take my hand, hold our hand, we're crossing the street, and then they'd swing me into the traffic. They used to say, take candy from strangers. Ask the funny man in the raincoat, does he own a van? It's just... No, I had a very bad childhood, and that's because, and I'm sure none of you give a damn, but I was the only Jewish kid, this is the absolute truth, growing up in an all-Catholic neighborhood. You know what that's? The Irish people. Only Jewish kid in a Catholic neighborhood. You know what that's like? You were all doing Hail Marys, I was doing Hail Murrays. I mean, it was just... No Christmas tree? No Christmas tree. Do you know what that's like when you're the only kid without a Christmas? Because everybody has Christmas trees. And nowadays, it's like, well, we do it for all faiths. It's such bullshit. Yeah, we walk into an office building, and there's a Christmas tree, and there's a menorah. Bullshit. The Christmas tree goes up, 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 up. There's like a little shitty menorah with 2 orange lights that some angry Puerto Ricans lit backwards. I mean, yes! Juan, you lit those lights backwards. Fuck you, you killed our Lord. I mean, it is just... So, I'm at the age where I figure, screw it, I'm gonna have a Christmas tree. I got the biggest Christmas tree I got a 2-story high Christmas tree. I put everything you could think of on that. Up, 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 gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. On the bottom, I got the manger. I got the whole goddamn thing going there, the wise men, the sheep. And the only thing is, I have the baby, but I'm Jewish. I got him a nanny. It was just, oh yes. And I redressed Mary. She didn't look good. That stupid thing over her head, come on. I put her in a Chanel suit, Manolo Blahniks, and a Louis Vuitton pocketbook. You're the mother of God. Look it. It is just... Am I wrong? If she had looked like that, she would have gotten into the inn. Yes. The point is, it's about looks. Mary, she looked good. She would have done better. Mother Teresa... Oh, don't give me... Oh, Mother Teresa, if she had looked better, she'd be a saint by now. Was she a bow wow? Yes. Did she need electrolysis? Let's talk to each other here. Even lepers were throwing their fingers at her. Here, because it is all about looks. This is my message, Great Britain. This is my message. Looks count. Education... Looks count. I have no sex appeal, and it has screwed me up for life. Peeping Toms look in my window, pull down the shade. You have no idea. My gynecologist examines me by telephone. It is just...
So I came to Britain in the early 80s. We were refugees long before it became fashionable. But my favourite immigrants are Polish people because they've properly confused old-fashioned racists. Have you seen them? They don't know what to do. What do we do? What do we say? They're immigrants, but they're white. I had this one bloke go, bloody Poles coming over here with their work ethic. Which isn't very politically correct, and I try so hard to be politically correct. Sometimes I take it too far. I was at a party recently and I said to my friend, have you met Steve? He's a really nice guy. My friend goes, which one's Steve? Steve was the only black guy in the room. I found myself going, Steve, yeah, he's over there. He's got blue jeans on, a grey T-shirt, sort of curly hair, and a Nigerian accent. And once I was performing at a comedy club and there was two black guys in the front row, like you two, but men and black. You are a man, sir, I'm sorry. It's the lights. And I said to them, so how do you two know each other? And they looked at each other and went, we don't. Might as well have had NF tattooed on my forehead. I didn't, it was felt tip. I like friendly, a little bit of friendly racism is nice. When I was a little girl, I used to always go to my friend Katie's house, and every time her dad opened the door, he'd go, hello, Shappy, been on holiday? So, I have a little boy, I have a baby boy, I'm a mum, and I'm looking at you, some of you are so young, I could be your mummy if I lived somewhere rural. Like a lot of women, I got to my 30s and I thought, I've got to have a baby now. Why, my mum's still young enough to look after it for me. And I went to all the antenatal classes, and this woman came up to me, one of the other mums goes, oh, how are you planning on losing your baby weight? And I was like, well, I was just thinking of having the child. And she was like, oh, I'm going to be a yummy mummy. I'm going to lose all my... Yummy mummy, that's just like a middle-class way of saying MILF. I was so happy when I found out that I was pregnant. And we had a scan and we knew that it was a boy. And people said to me, why did you find out the sex of your baby? Didn't you want a surprise? Well, it's going to be a boy or a girl, do you know what I mean? The only surprise would have been if it was a puppy. And there are no puppies in my family. There's one goat, it's not a blood relation. Thank goodness I have a child now. It was no fun being a broody Iranian woman. Every time I said to people, my body thought's ticking, they'd hit the ground. So with all that going on, when I did find out I was pregnant, I was so delighted. I thought, I am going to fill this child's life up with love and hope and understanding. My husband's reaction was slightly different. He walked around going, woohoo! My soldiers worked! Easy! It's not his. Oh, the fuss he made when he found out I was cheating on him. Only child. Can't share. My husband's English, he's from Nottingham, and a lot of people ask me if my husband's Iranian. And I go, well, he's not, he's English, but he's planning to convert. His family are absolutely lovely, and when they first met me, they kept going, oh, Shappy's so exotic, she's so exotic, which means foreign, but not in a way that we hate.
I've got 6 kids, can you believe that? No. 3 of them born in the same month. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And I will explain myself so I don't seem like a man whore to you guys. The 3 of them are all of the same lady. They are different ages, but they're all born in the same month. That baffled me for years. How do you get 3 kids, same lady, different ages, same month? People, I had to take a calendar and work this one out. I did. I had to count 9 months back from their birthday. Turns out it's my frickin' birthday. These are my little birthday presents, you know. You lot can clap and laugh and everything. When is my birthday now? I don't want no punani. She can keep that shit. That's expensive fanny right there, innit? There's a lot of stuff I liked about parenting, and there's a lot of things I didn't like doing. I didn't like doing shit like, for instance, the school Christmas play. Have you not ever been to a primary school Christmas play? What a load of shit. It is. Come on now, there's no kids in here. What a load of shit. If you've never been, I'll explain. First, they usher you into the assembly hall. And they sit us down, big grown folks, on them little miniature chairs. You ever seen them? Look at the size of me, I can't fit in one. They either do that or they sit you down on that long apparatus bench. Remember the long? That's what they sit big people down on for hours. So by the time you try to get up, you've got rigor mortis in your back. Not comfortable. 2, I've noticed of recent, these kids don't seem to rehearse their part they got in the Christmas play. Do you remember when we were younger? Everybody wanted a part in the Christmas play. Whether it was the top part or you could be a tree, it didn't matter. You was gonna play the best tree ever. You'd be in the front room like a dickhead for hours swaying. Asking Mum, how does that look? How does it look, Mum? How does it look? But we practice. And then they start singing. Fucking horrendous. It is. I don't care what you got to say. It's horrendous. They're out of tune and everything. You think, what kind of production is this? Worst part about it, your child always try to look out for you, don't they? To try to give you a little wave. My children always do that. Look out for me to wave at me like I freaking know them. Do you know what I mean? You're your mother's child today, boy. That's a like that, innit? This embarrassment. Mums, you lot love it. You lot video it all the time. That's a like, don't send me that bollocks. Send it to your mum and your sisters. They are. Didn't enjoy that. Didn't enjoy them cooking at school and bringing that poison home for me today. Do you know what I mean? I know, it's poison. Don't eat from these kids. They're looking early inheritance. Don't eat from them. Don't eat from them.
I'm used to my appearance provoking the full spectrum of facial reactions everywhere I show up, and you absolutely did not let me down. You were delighted, weren't you? You gave me some wonderful face when I came up here. You looked at me like your mother-in-law just cancelled dinner. I've been lucky enough to travel, and I'll never forget my first trip to Australia. I went to a place called Perth. I got off the plane. First person that saw me said the following. Hey, mate! Hey, mate! Why is Freddie Mercury wearing a kimono? Huh. Hey, mate, why is Freddie Mercury wearing a kimono? Now, this man opened the interaction with the words, hey, mate. Our eyes met, right? I was the mate. Case closed. Then he said, why is Freddie Mercury wearing a kimono? I looked around, there was nobody else there. I was persons 1 and 2 in the rhetorical question. I've never met this man, and already, grammatically, I'm on the back foot. I wasn't going to put up with that. You would have been proud of me. You can't show any weakness. I summoned up every ounce of testosterone in my body, and I fired it ocularly at this chap. And I said, I think you'll find that this is a smoking jacket. Yeah, I showed the bugger. There's a lot that's not made sense, though, and one of the things that I still struggle with to this day is how uptight us Brits are. I didn't realise in the UK, how are you is a rhetorical question. How are you is a rhetorical question. If somebody from the UK asks you how you are and you tell them, they would be mortified. Now, there are geographical anomalies, I'm delighted to say. If you ask somebody from Liverpool how they are, they will tell you. 10 times out of 10, and I love them for that. Now, from personal experience, they oscillate wildly between two very distinctively different states. The first one is thus. How am I? I'm sound, mate. I'm buzzing. I'm having a belter. Do you know what? Work's sound. Air and doors is sound. Even our Anthony's being sound. Look at the weather, lad. Cracking the flags. I love you, kid. Apologies for the accent, by the way. I have the ability to blend in seamlessly with my environment wherever I go. I feel an energy, I match it, we become almost indistinguishable. Silly. Now, that's the first state. Now, the second state of Scouse being is rather different, and it is as follows. I'm fuming, lad. Oh, don't you start, lad. I am fuming here, mate. I'm fuming. I am fuming. I'm up the wall with work. I've seen me arse with my dad. Everton to being shite again. You're doing my fucking head in. I am fumigating here, kid.
I asked her to marry me, she said no, for a laugh. Ah, ha, ha, ha. We were in a restaurant, and I remember the whole thing vividly. And here's another damning indictment as well on the state of our relationship. She told me this afterwards. Apparently, she knew I was going to ask her to marry me that day because, quote, I'd been really nice to her all day. Kind of feel a bit bad about that. We were in a restaurant. I remember I kept trying to get the conversation round to the subject of us. You know, and where we're going in our relationship and that sort of thing. Because you can't just go from a standing start to a proposal. You can't just go, you know, how's your dessert? Marry me? It's got to be a bit of finesse. And if you do, lads, try not to make it sound as needy as I just did there. Save a drowning man. That's not sexy. We were in a restaurant, and I'm trying to get it, I'd say, onto that subject, onto that, you know, subject of conversation. She, however, had had about 3-4 glasses of white wine at this point. And Wurzel had his talking head on. She would not shut the hell up. And it wasn't that she just kept talking, she kept interrupting me and changing the subject. It was a baby, you and me. It was a children's TV programme. Never really cared for it. More of a heads and tails girl. Don't you know me at all? I mean, as a couple of tequilas, shots, whiskey, what do you want? Shut up! After 20 minutes of trying to talk about us and where we're going in our relationship and what the next step of our relationship should be, and her wanting to talk about anything but our relationship, I began to think, wow, this must be what it's like to be the woman in a relationship. Yeah. Anyway, the old switcheroo. Anyway, eventually, I get her onto the subject of us long enough to pop the question. I go, I'm asking you to marry me. And she says, no. And I say, what? On the outside. On the inside, I'm going, you what? And then she says to me, I swear to you, with tears rolling down her rosy Derbyshire cheeks, as she theatrically pushed the ring back across the table towards me, she goes, I can't marry you. And I went, oh. And she went, I'm only joking. What a beezer of a jape. Hey, what a top-hole A-grade wheeze. That's some funny shit right there. Ladies, not everybody's comedy show has to have a moral or a message or a meaning, but if mine had one, it would probably be something along the lines of, for Christ's sake, don't ever do that. And it's not just because it's mean, because I mean, it's not the meanest thing you could do. The meanest thing you could do would be to do the opposite. That would edge it from meanness, wouldn't it? Will you marry me? I'd love to. Psych! That would be mean. I'll give it. But if you're going to say yes, just say it, and say it quickly. None of this no for a laugh bullshit, because not only is it not funny, not only is it mean, also, you'll be surprised how quickly a man's mind can work under stressful conditions. And you don't want his brain going the place it's going to go. From the time she says, I can't marry you, I was off. Like, oh, she doesn't want to marry me. That's a shame. I thought I was in there. Well, we may as well break up. Not a lot of point in continuing with what is quite clearly a farce of a relationship. I suppose I could buy her out of the house. Maybe we could sell the house, split the money down the middle. Get myself a little bachelor pad in the West End of London. Have the lads round for drinks every night. God, it's been ages since the lads came round for drinks, hasn't it? Yeah. Maybe not even in London. Maybe I'll move back to Ireland or move up to Scotland. Oh, you know what? I'll go to the States. I'll call that agent that I met in Montreal. Get that ball rolling. Go to LA. Try and break the States. To hell with LA. I'll go to Vegas. I'll become a lounge act. I won't make a lot of money, but I'll shag dancing girls every day and take drugs every night. I'll be dead by the time I'm 50, but I'll have a laugh. I'll do what I like. I'll do whatever the hell I want with my life. I'm only joking. Oh.
I failed 6 times in total, right? 6 times. Can anyone beat 6? There, 1 there. Good work. You didn't fail on reaction times, did you? Bang, you were in. No messing. Who passed first time? Where are you? There you are. Still a little bit smug about it, I see. Good work. I would be as well. It's horrible failing, especially when, you know, there's stuff in your driving test that you don't even need to do again. Like, I remember parallel parking. That shouldn't be in your test. I'm only going, Jason, can you put your car between that red car and that blue car? I said, no, can't I said, don't even live there, mate. You know what I mean? When's that going to come in useful? Do you know what I mean? I said, there's an NCP up there. I park there all day for you. I'm brilliant at it. Multi-storey parking, I've got some sort of gift. You know what I mean? Although there's one thing that can ruin your day with multi-storey parking, right? And I'll tell you what it is. It's little cars hiding, right? What they're doing, hiding behind big cars that from a distance look like a space. You think, oh, I've got one here, nice one. Oh, brilliant. Oh, bloody cheeky Tenso. I remember he failed me. I remember I got to a junction. When don't you do this, right? I got to a junction, I looked right, I said, all right, your side? Straight fail. What's he sat there for if he's not going to help you out, you know what I mean? My wife, she passed first time. I was very proud of her, you know. Well done. I didn't shake her hand. I don't know why I did that. It's a very formal relationship we've got. Well done. Good night, darling. She passed first time, but she admitted to me afterwards she'd had a bit of a flirt. She'd wore a low-cut top and a short skirt, a bit of midriff, like, you know, showing. Oh, is that the gear stick? Sorry. Like, you know, proper went for it. The worst thing was, when I did that, that was another fail. I always wanted to learn how to drive like my dad, mate. Dads are pretty good at driving, aren't they? They've got some sort of gift. Dads do stuff that nobody teaches you, right? You'll see a dad reversing. Nobody's taught him how to do this, right? But he's amazing at it. He puts his arm around the passenger seat like this, right? Nobody's taught him this. The examiner's not gone, we're going to do some reversing now. Have you got any kids? Yeah, I've got 2. Right. I'm going to show you how to properly do it. All right, so arm out like that. And my dad had used that because me and my brothers would be in the back. He'd need the back of his hand. Get your bloody heads down there, I can't see a thing. Wear a seatbelt. Wear a seatbelt. If you're not seeing that advert, you'll kill me as well. Right, it's proper mad, right? And then he'd reverse out of second gear, like out of a cul-de-sac and up an A-row without looking. It was amazing to see. And he shouldn't have even been driving, my dad, right? Because my dad's got narcolepsy, right? And I know. I laugh about it now because I'm still alive, right? But as a kid, it was terrifying. We go up to Blackpool on holiday, get in the middle lane of the motorway, you go, right, lads, if you hear this noise, wake me up. You shouldn't be using the rumble strips as an alarm clock, should you, at any point? Dad, hey, I'm only joking, just messing. We get up to Blackpool, you're like, I don't want to go on any rides, I'm all right, Dad, I'm fine. And it was a great disease for your dad to have as a kid, you know, growing up. We'd get away with all sorts when he was telling us off. Right, you three, I've had enough of this. You lot are grounded for a... Yeah, whatever, we'll do what we want, old man. He'd use it for his advantage, though. Sometimes if he'd be talking to someone and he was bored, like my mum would be going, anyway, so our Barbara says he's not going to get back with Derek because my dad would just go. And then we'd be playing on the floor, we'd look up and he'd look at us and go... He'd wake up half an hour after dinner with a plate full of carrots. How's this happened again? What's going on? Well, the worst trick we ever did, right, we only played it once and we shouldn't have done it, was... I remember one time he fell asleep on the chair in the living room. Me and my brothers, we went upstairs, changed our clothes, come down, pretend he'd missed the day.
Tell me, does anyone here own a cat? Yeah. Your houses stink. Someone's got to tell them. Some people like cats, some people don't. I was reading the other day, apparently the Pope, he's a cataholic. Catholic. I've had an interesting job recently. I pretended to be a Spanish dentist. Thanks, that doesn't normally work. They said about me that I was too immature to be a father, but when I saw the first few seconds of my son's life, I thought to myself, he's naked. When my daughter was born, she had jaundice, so there she was, small, round, and yellow. We called her Melanie. My parents came up last weekend because I keep them in the cellar. That's not true. I don't know who they are. See, when I was young, I used to walk through the front door. I was hit by roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, open the airing cupboard, spaghetti bolognese all over me. We literally didn't know where the next meal was coming from. My grandparents, their names are Pearl and Dean. Of course, we just know them as Gran and Grandpapa, Papa, 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 Papa. Any students here? Your houses stink. Someone's got to tell him. Don't talk to me about unemployment. I come from a tiny fishing village in Derbyshire. I work... It's not near the sea.
I just celebrated 9 years of marriage just the other day. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. 9 years married to the same person. Jesus Christ, man. Listen, man, I'm just glad I'm no longer dating. I'm glad. Because dating right now is the ghetto. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy to date. And you know what? The thing about dating is every time I see someone out, I'm like, how are you affording this? You know what I'm saying? It's a cost of living crisis. When I see people out eating food, I'm just like, I don't know how you're doing this. Even I'm on TV, and I still take my wife to the local chip shop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you're not getting this Taskmaster money. No. Nah, man. The dating. Back in the day, I used to get rejected a lot because I'm short. You know what I'm saying? Short guys, yeah, we don't get no love, man. Short guys. I'll be on the phone talking to girls, and I'll be like, you know, yeah, biz, I want to take you out. She'll be like, oh my God, how tall are you? I'll be like, yeah, I'm 5 foot. Hello? Hello? I am happy I am married, and I've got 2 wonderful children. Me and my wife got 2 beautiful children, 8 and 1, right? Now, the 8-year-old, that's a boy, right? And my boy is crazy. Make some noise if you got sons in the building, make some noise. So you know what I'm talking about. Boys are crazy, right? It's not just me. Have you ever just looked at your boy and been like, what the hell are you doing? Every day, all right? My son is obsessed with superheroes. He loves superheroes, right? Which is a bit weird in our household because we're like devout Christians, like especially my wife. We love going to church, right? My wife is definitely getting into heaven, 100%. Like, hopefully, I'm her +1. I hope, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, no, I'm with her. No? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I bring that up is because last year, Halloween, my son, he wanted to go trick-or-treating, right? Which is a bit weird in our household. Again, we're Christians. And he was just like, Mom, I want to dress up as a superhero. And my wife was just like, there is no superhero in this house other than Jesus Christ. So she dressed him for Halloween as Jesus Christ. This guy went out trick-or-treating, giving out bread and wine. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, God bless you. Yeah, God bless you too. Oh, God bless you. One day, me and my son, we were at home. We're by ourselves, right? I'm downstairs, I'm watching TV. My son is upstairs, right? He's doing whatever he's doing, right? And it got silent. And you guys know what happens when it goes silent with a child. It means they're doing something they should not be doing, right? And then out of nowhere, I hear a loud thud, just boom. I'm like, oh God, what's that? And then my son's just like, Daddy! So I run to the hallway, and my son is standing at the top of the staircase, dressed in a DIY superhero outfit, right? And he's just standing there. He's like, look, Dad, I'm a superhero. And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, son, you might want to take that off before your mom comes home, all right? And he's just like, no, Dad, look, I can fly. And as soon as he said that, I'm not gonna lie, it got slow motion in my house. I was like, no. And my son was like, a part of me was just like, let me let him fly so he can break his legs, you know what I'm saying, and calm down.
Tommy, you could tell me, did I get unlucky? What would be, I know you're a builder, not an electrician, but you can still answer this question. What would be your absolute record in a row for not turning up when you promised you would?
4.
4. God bless your honesty. Because my electrician, did I get unlucky? Because 14 times he didn't turn up when he promised he would, right? 14 times, incidentally, where I sat on my ass watching shit daytime television. No offence, Tommy, right? But I sat on my ass twiddling my thumbs watching shit daytime television. Presumably he did exactly the same thing round at his house. But then he finally came, right? And this is, have you ever seen anything this incompetent, right? Because I'm 43, and I've I've travelled the world, I've seen a thing or two, but I have never seen anything this shit. I've never seen anything this incompetent in any area of life, right? Because this electrician came and he fitted what do you call, double plug sockets. He fitted 15 of those, right? 15 of them, all around the lounge in the dining room. 13 of them, Tommy, are awesome. Awesome, some of the finest plug sockets you'll ever see in your life. Beautiful pieces of work. 2 of them, however, are upside pissing down, right? How is that even possible? How have you ever seen that? I've never seen an upside down plug. Literally, the switches at the top, you push it in. And half the light switches are on the wrong way round as well, right? But I thought I can live with that. I was going to complain about that until I saw the plug sockets. I'll leave it go, right? Because it's not the end of the world. Some of them are on when they're up, some of them are on when they're down, or whatever. It's a bit inconvenient, but they all still work until you come to change a light bulb, and then it's Russian roulette, frankly, right? I let it go. I let the light switches go. We've all seen that before, right? But I'd never seen upside-down sockets, so I rang him, right? And the conversation I had with my electrician is in my anger management diary, right? This is the conversation with my electrician because he's put 2 plug sockets upside down in our lounge. I rang him, right? This is the electrician. I rang him. I said, oh, this is a bit awkward, but you seem to have fitted 2 of the plug sockets upside down. Do you know what he said, Tommy? Are you sure? I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, let me just check. Oh, hang on, my girlfriend's just come in. Her head seems to be roughly the same height as mine. Her eyes are above her mouth, and when we drop things, they fall towards our feet. We seem to be the right way up, mate. This is a genuine question from my electrician, Tommy. A genuine question. Would you prefer them all the same way up, would you? I think I would. I'm sorry, I'm old school. What can I say? I can't help it. And he's always on the front foot. He's one of those people, he'll never take a criticism, this guy, right? Because he's like, what do you want me to do about it? He's on the phone, what do you expect me to do about it? I said, well, it seems to me you've got 2 choices, right? One involves you popping back to the house and turning the 2 sockets round, right? And the other one involves you trying to persuade the entire world to start living upside down, doesn't it? I should point out, if you do decide to go down that second route, it could actually involve a lot more work for you in the long run, right? Because once you've travelled the world spreading the topsy-turvy gospel according to St. Pissing Nutjob the Inverted, right? You'll have to bounce back here on your head and redo the 13 sockets you put on the right way round in the first place.
Last time I did a gig in London, right, how great a heckle is this? This bloke went, "Oi, Howard! Would you shag your dad to save your mum?" Right? He was so aggressive, it was like it wasn't hypothetical. Like my mum was in a van and my dad was in a harness, What would you do? I panicked and went, I think I'd shag my dad. And this bloke went, oh, tell him then. He worked with my dad. Now, I don't know if you've ever had a phone call that chilling. All right, son, what's all this about you wanting to bum me? Dad, you don't understand. They were going to kidnap Mum. Well, that changes things, son. Before you start, you best knock me out. You don't want tips on how to bum your dad? Treat me right, son. Run me a bath. Put Radox in it. I'm not your bitch. All right, Dad, I've got to go. Lift my hips up. Weird moment, Dads. I can't wait to be a dad. Obviously, I'm not ready. I'm still afraid of the dark. I think that's fairly crucial. Dad, can you get my coat? I don't think so, son. It's in the cupboard, and that is where the goblins live. You won't trick me, I'm so wise. Such a child, So, that feeling when you're near a wardrobe, there's always part of you going, come on, this time, Narnia. It never happens, but... I bet that's an hour of fun at MFI, just no. I'll give anyone in this room 200 quid if they go to IKEA tomorrow dressed as a lion and hide in a cupboard. Been travelling all over the place. It's been great. I've been on tour, right? I've seen some really weird things, right? I was in a sandwich shop the other day. Do you ever see a sign that really annoys you? There was this big sign that said, hey, why not try a guilt-free wrap? Like, what? Don't make sandwiches evil. How ridiculous is that? Sandwiches are lovely. The bacon sandwich is one of the greatest things in the world. It tastes lovely, and conceptually, it's a wonderful thing. A bacon sandwich is essentially bread giving a dead pig a cuddle. It's a lovely thing. I love you, Mr. Pig. Why do the Jews hate me? It's lovely, right? And there was a sign... Joke. And there was a sign... There was a sign next to it that said, "You may have cancer." Now I'm fat and I'm going to die, right? I was in a really bad mood, and then madness occurred. From nowhere, bloke in the counter, behind the counter, yawned. This bloke in front of him, who did not know him, popped his finger in his mouth and went, "Ooh, yawn rape," and I nearly died. Now, I've never seen a yawn rape before. I was like, "Well, you've just been a yawn rape." Did the man headbutt him? No, he didn't. He giggled and went, "It's a good job I didn't fart, wasn't it?" And you sat there, you know that proper huge belly laugh? They're great when they happen. I remember the first time I properly went, "Ugh!" My friend Tom, age 5, stood up in the middle of a nativity play and went, "Well, enough's enough." Heroic. But what made it even more heroic, he was the front end of a donkey. That's incredible, right? They're brilliant, aren't they, belly laughs, aren't they? When they leap out from nowhere. I could watch drunk people for hours. Don't you love it? You know when people are mischief pissed? You know, when they put like a bollard or a cone on top of a bus stop? How fantastic's that? "I'm pissed. Fighting, nightclub, women. Nope, that bus stop needs a hat." He looks like a wizard, Dave. I've done it. 5 points to Gryffindor.
Now, let me just start by saying, well done to any parents who've made it here tonight. We got parents? Because here's what I've realised. If you've not got children, you're just here. It's easy, but if you're a parent, this is everything. This will have been in the diary for months. There'll be parents in here tonight, don't even care about the show. They're just enjoying sitting in the dark for a bit. That is like a spa day for some of them. I could see them now at the back just going, "This is so good. Don't make me go back, John. Don't make me go back." I get it, OK? I've got 2 young children. And my youngest one's Sophia. She's 5 now. I mean, I say she's 5. She's 3 when we go swimming. I'm not an idiot. 4 on a bus, 3 on a train. That's the system, isn't it? I'll be honest, she hasn't got a clue how old she is now, that one. She's so confused. Every birthday is a genuine surprise for all of us. This kid wandering round. "How old am I today then, Daddy?" Depends what we're doing, darling, doesn't it? Have you checked the spreadsheet? You said Alton Towers. Right, well, getting that baby grow looks small, all right? Not paying 48 quid for you to go on some teacups, that way, mate. Come on. What does Daddy say? Well, get on board with the fraud. There's a good girl. Now stop talking, we're trying to breastfeed you. Listen! You go through that turnstile with a 5-year-old hanging off your tit, they ask no questions. I've got one, why does she have to bite me? But... so she's a great kid. There's just a lot of admin when your kids are that little. Have we got primary school teachers amongst us this evening? Great! I'm glad you're here, because I can direct all this venom at you. Because here's my problem. My daughter brings home stuff she's made every day under people like you. And I just want to say on behalf of all the parents here tonight, just stop it. We can't deal with it anymore. You don't see it at your end. You just keep sending it. Your carbon footprint is massive. It is. You might as well have driven an oil tanker into a family of puffins, you people. We'll never solve the climate problem with you involved, because it just keeps coming, doesn't it? And it's not arts and crafts anymore. It's emotional landfill. That's what it is. Because Gemma will say, "Oh, she's put a name on it, so we have to keep it." We don't. We don't. She's not Banksy. Get it in the bin, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's another picture of a sheep out of dried pasta, innit? We've had 4 this week. I tell you, no wonder there's a school meals crisis. Stop sticking it on paper and cook it, you morons. We'll feed these kids for years. I'm just envious of my parents now. Their lives are so simple. Like, they're retired. My dad loves being retired, mainly because he's paying the world back one day at a time for all the misery it's caused him. He sets his alarm 8 o'clock every morning, gets up, gets out into rush hour traffic. Just gets in everyone's way. That is a day out for that man now. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Sometimes he'll even take the car. But, of course he takes the car. How else would you tow a caravan? But he's a great man. There's a man down here, so it reminds me of my dad, mate. Yeah, you don't look like him. It's just he's bitterly disappointed in me as well. That's fine. For everyone. He's called Roy, my dad, Apollo, which is a very manly name, isn't it? Like people called Roy come out the womb already able to grout a bathroom. That's how hard that name is. He was born by caesarean section, my dad. I reckon the first thing he did was turn around to his own mother and give her a quote for the damage. Just came out with a pencil. That's all right. We'll plaster over that. Don't worry. See you next week.
I actually haven't been well recently. Oh, stop it, honestly, I don't want to talk about it. But if you insist. I really haven't, though, so that's why I'm delighted to get here today. I was rushed to A&E recently with terrible abdominal problems. Just hideous pains all up and down my tummy and around my sides. And I was rushed to A&E. And for about 3 hours, I thought... and anyone here who ever read a magazine as a teenager will know what I mean, especially the girls. I thought that I was about to have a surprise baby. Do you know the way there's those stories in the magazine going, well, everything was normal, nothing was different, everything was regular. Well, then I went to the toilet and I looked in the toilet and there was a baby in the toilet. And I had a surprise baby. There was always that, and that's when I thought it was. But you'll be happy to know that actually it was, I'm bringing sexy back, a gut infection. A gut infection. But the worst part of the whole situation was that the doctor in A&E was really, really handsome. And I think doctors who are handsome should be struck off. I really do. I wanted someone with a sort of mashed potato head that I could feel at one with. But instead, this man was really handsome. He said to me, what seems to be the problem? And I was like, well, doctor, my problem is that I'm too cute. Cheers me. I mean, how could I tell him that I thought I was having a surprise baby or else I was waiting for a poo? I mean, you couldn't, you know... And once we find out which one it is, do you want to go for a drink? It's really quite terrible. But by the way, you might notice that I talk quite fast. And if I'm honest, it's not really going to slow down too much, so you'll have to sort of jump on the Venga bus of enthusiasm and beep the horn with this one. I think that the reason I talk quite fast is because I was brought up in the countryside, in the deepest, darkest countryside, where there was no one for miles and miles around. Just this giant expanse of land with no one to talk to. And it was very, very lonely. You'd have no one to speak to during the day. I mean, a very backwards existence, lads. Like, our clothes are made of mud. Our hats were made of leaves. We had no access to things like pot noodles. We just had to sort of pour boiling water on top of birds' nests if we didn't feel like cooking one evening. A really backwards existence. And crows everywhere. Crows. In the city, there's pigeons everywhere, but in the countryside, there's crows everywhere. And it makes everything you do seem really ominous. You'd open the window and it'd be like, wah, 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 wah. Well, that seems a bit ominous. You know, you'd be standing innocently over a dead body in a field. Oh, God, this one seems a bit ominous. But the reason that I think I talk quite fast is because I'd have no one to talk to during the day. And so some days, the only person you'd have to talk to would be a passing car flying along the road. So you had to learn to talk fast if you wanted to talk to anyone. You'd be like, hi, how's it going? Oh my God, come back and talk to me. Do you like my new dress? Stay and be my friend. This sort of thing. Some days you'd be waiting for a tractor to come along, because you get more time out of a tractor, you see. You get to talk to them for longer. You'd be like, hi, how's it going? Do you like Sesame Street? I like Sesame Street. Oh, you do like Sesame Street. Sometimes I think Big Bird might not be a big bird, but he might just be a man in a suit. I know it sounds bad, but I have my suspicions. Goodbye, come back.
I went out recently on a shopping expedition to buy 1 carrot. Right, that was all I wanted, a single carrot. My wife was cooking. She wasn't just cooking that. She had a recipe of which that was a component. She wasn't just going to cook the carrot. There you are, like a nice lolly. It was more ambitious, and I tend to. She tends to do most of the cooking. I'm aware Some people are thinking, I doubt he's got a wife. I bloody have. There's no time to prove it, but just take my word for it. There we are. I own a woman. So, she... you can't say that these days, can you? Anyway, so to get on to more politically correct ground, my wife does all the cooking. Actually, well, it's actually true. I pretty much let my wife cook, but purely because it's a just sensible distribution of skills. My wife is a good cook, and I'm very poor at it. So my wife tends to do the cooking. I think it's quite an enlightened attitude, you know. I think these days cooking tends to be quite a sort of testosterone-dominated field. It's all your Gordon Ramsay, Marco Pierre, all these people, you know, Jamie Oliver. It's all men. I think someone should be modern enough to say, let's get women cooking. You know, let's be 21st century about this. They've got the same rights as we have in the kitchen. So my wife sent me out to a dangerous gag. No, I wouldn't clap that. That's sort of more clever than funny, really. So my wife was cooking, and I'm happy with my role, which is basically, you know, just foraging. But I went to buy this one, I say foraging, it's very much so. Normally, if you go to Tesco, you will lay hands on a carrot. There's no real jeopardy there. Still, I like to pick it up and go, you got it! You know, but actually, well, this is my point. It was surprisingly hard to buy a bloody carrot, right, for a start. So I took it to the till. This is all I was buying, one carrot. First of all, this lady tried to put it in a bag for me, and I always try, you know, to not take a bag if I don't need one for environmental reasons, but they're furious. You'll have tried doing this. If you say, I don't need a bag, they look at you like, how dare you? This woman she said, what are you going to do? I was like, well, I don't want to appear cocky here, but I've got two hands, there's only one carrot. I think I will nail this. I'm almost certain I'll get this home by hook or by crook. What am I going to do? Just walk around with one carrot in a bag? I've got my carrot in a bag. How's your day? Yeah, great, just walking with my carrot in its bag. I've got a piece of celery at home and a little bit of Tupperware as well. So, I don't want to make out I'm someone with a repertoire of vegetables that I walk... Anyway, then there's a receipt. She insisted on printing out a bloody receipt, and which meant the till roll had to be changed. Why? Why do you need a receipt for this transaction? All I'm buying is a single carrot. Why would you ever need a receipt? You're not going to bite into it and think, hang on, this is a pear. Right? It's basically, buying a carrot can't go that badly wrong. So by now I'm really impatient. I was frothing with impatience. I wanted to get home, see my wife, whether she exists or not. And finally, just when I thought I had finally secured this carrot, as I was walking out, this girl said, excuse me, sorry, before you go. So now I have to listen. I said, yes? She said, did you want to pre-order the Harry Potter DVD? Now, what part of my action so far will give you that impression? I was trying to be polite. I said, sorry? She said, by now she's impatient, like I'm some sort of idiot. Did you want to pre-order the Harry Potter DVD? I mean, no, not really. My aim was to buy a carrot, and I would say I've achieved that modest aim. I mean, if I wanted to buy a Harry Potter DVD, what I'd probably do is go to somewhere like HMV, for example. I'd go to a place where you can buy DVDs. I'd pre-order it. When the time came, I would collect it, I'd take it home, I'd watch it. I wouldn't approach this transaction by going to a supermarket, seizing a carrot from the fruit and veg bit, and then standing there at the checkout thinking she knows what I really want here. She'll gather my true intentions. She knows that this carrot is a sort of metaphor for an orange wand.
I'll set the scene. You're in stirrups, so it's like you've been riding a horse, and then the horse has fucked off. And you've toppled over and ended up, in my case, in the back room of an NHS hospital. Then what has happened, every time I've been for a smear, and I don't know, something they're rolling out just for me, but every time I've been for a smear, what seems to happen is a doctor will come over and they'll go, hi, Miss Ruffle, thanks so much for coming in. It's really important you keep up to date with your smear test. Now listen, if this is a problem, you can absolutely say no. You can totally say no. It's not a big deal. But would it be all right? We have some trainee doctors in today. Could they all come in? And you want to go, no, there's a horse on the loose. Could they go and get that? But you love the NHS, so you've got to go, yes, of course, no problem, it's absolutely fine. And then what happens between 65 and 70, trainee doctors come in, there's loads of them. It's like the walking tour's got lost, it's not good. I also need to to let you know something. People in the room that haven't been to a smear, I need to let you know something. When you're having your smear, you feel a little bit silly. You feel a little bit silly, and I'll tell you for why. T-shirt, nothing. Little pair of socks. A little bit silly. You feel a little bit like Winnie the Pooh. The doctor's back. She says, Miss Ruffle, would it be okay if one of the other trainee doctors did your smear? And you want to say, no, can I have someone who's had a crack at it before, please? But you love the NHS, so you've got to go, yes, of course, no problem, it's absolutely fine. And then what happened is the trainee doctor came at me like this. The doctor's back. She says, Miss Ruffle, would it be okay if one of the other trainee doctors did your paperwork? I was like, yeah, once I'm a chuff, fill out form, carry on. So she goes, you're Susie Ruffle. I'm like, yeah, that's me. She goes, okay. First question, what are you using as contraception? Undercut on the Doc Martens not enough? What more do you need? I said, I'm not using contraception. She went, oh, well, if you're sexually active, you do need to be using contraception. And I was like, oh, no, I don't. She went, no, you do. Because even if you're using the old-fashioned technique or, the Catholic technique, nothing about what I am doing is Catholic. She said, you should be very careful. You can have a baby tomorrow. I think it'll take 9 months. I've got 4 GCSEs. You're nearly a doctor. You should know that. And she wasn't picking up what I was putting down. And what I was putting down was a KD Lang album. So eventually I just had to come out. Now, of course, there'll be queer people in the room. You know what it's like. Sometimes you have to come out in situations where you didn't know you were coming out that day. You hadn't put it in the diary. So I had to say, I'm a gay lady. I'm a lady that's gay. I'm a glady. And the one that was down here doing the jiggery-pokery, which I think is the official term. I said I'm a gay lady, and she popped up like I'd birthed her. So, whoa. She is a lot older than I thought she'd be, but we are very proud she's a doctor. I said I'm a gay lady. She popped up and went, oh, right, that makes sense. Snug. That's not a medical term, is it? Has that gone on my record? Snug, what a weird word to use. Because it sounds like she's looking down there and she can see the back end of a Tudor pub.
Some time in Australia. If you've been, you know it's a nice place. If you like, misogyny, racism and blind optimism, it's that kind of town. My favourite thing when I was in Australia, this is brilliant, this will blow your mind. Does anybody here know what the collective noun in Australia is for sheets, pillowcases, bedding? Anyone know what they call it? Manchester. That's right, Manchester. I didn't know. I'm from Manchester, didn't know. Basically, what happened was, about 150 years ago, we, in Manchester, invented cotton and sent it around the world. It's easier than explaining slavery, that bit. We sent it around the world, arriving in Australia, in Sydney, in a big box with Manchester on, and the Australians would go, what's that? And they go, it's Manchester. They have Manchester shops. I'm thinking, what goes on in there? Some bloke like Bez going, do you want some Vimto? Right, no. They sell sheets and pillowcases and bedding, it's amazing. They have Manchester departments in their department stores. That's how I discovered it. I was just browsing one Monday and overheard an announcement on the tannoy that went, would somebody from Manchester please report to customer services? I was like, oh my gosh. How fortuitous. I am literally on the other side of the world. And then I thought, naturally, I wonder what they want. Maybe I'm going to go over and they're going to say, settle an argument. What's the best junction off the 56 for the airport, right? So I was just considering this, and a further, more urgent announcement came on the tannoy. Would somebody from Manchester please report to customer service? I went running over. I'm northern, I'm friendly, I want to help. I got there, I went, ta-da! Because that's how people in show business arrive. Ta-da! And the one went, ta-da! I went, here I am! And she says, there you are. I said, I know, can you believe it, eh? There was an awkward moment where she looked at me like I was a wrong un. And eventually she says, how can I help you? I went, no! How can I help you? And she says, what do you mean? And I said, I'm from Manchester! And she said, no, you're not. And I said, well, technically Stockport, but let's not split hairs, love. That story's a real-life anecdote, so it doesn't have a punchline, so I tend to look at my watch and move on to the next bit, if that's all right with you.
My housemate, he's weird, 35 years old, still draws a little line on his milk in marker pen to know where the level was. I think that's stupid, but I get my own back, I buy my own milk, and I use that to top his milk up just above the line. Just fucking with his head, slowly. He's confused, he's looking at it, he thinks the milk is growing. I have sat and watched him Google the phrase, does milk expand? I'm in there. And my side of the fridge, it's looking pretty good at the minute. I don't mean to brag so early on, but I've got goo puddings in there. Yeah, I'm doing all right. If you don't know what a goo pudding is, let me explain them to you. They're these posh little puddings. They come in a glass ramekin. You eat the pudding, then you wash out the ramekin, and you look at it, and you think to yourself, I'll do something with this. I'm going to do something with this ramekin. Tell you the first thing you do, you put it in a drawer with 25 other unused goo ramekins. I've got a drawer in my kitchen. It's got 10 goo ramekins and a packet of Imodium. I don't want to know what that is for. Anyone taking Imodium tonight? Wow, a lot of you. Horrible interval, I imagine. I think Imodium is the best medication. Stops you shitting yourself, but crucially, it's got some of the funniest potential side effects on the packet. If you look on the side of an Imodium packet, it says, if you take Imodium, you may suffer from a loss of libido. Like, oh, the diarrhea does that for me. Well, I'm not worrying about my sex drive when I'm shitting myself like this. What sort of psychopath is mid-diarrhea? Reading the words, lose my libido? No, thank you, then. I'm feeling pretty sexy and confident at the minute. Whoa! Going out tonight, might get lucky in between these frequent, horrendous toilet stops. I don't know. It's hard being a northerner living in London. That's my situation at the minute. I'm a northerner living in London. I get patronised all the time. People hear my accent, they assume I'm stupid, rather than getting to know me and working it out that way. And look, a lot of the time, they are right. I only found out 2 years ago that American people call aubergines eggplants. 2 years ago, I found that out. I found it out because I overheard 2 American people talking about eggplants, and my first thought was, these 2 absolute morons. An eggplant? I think they're trying to say chicken. An eggplant? You calling a cow a beef tree? What's wrong with you? Yep, hands up, I'm the idiot in that situation, fair enough.
I used to chase women quite a lot. Things were different back then, you know. It was like you had to go out on the hunt as a man back then. Back in the 70s, you had to put a nice splash of Paco Rabanne on. You stand there with your mates. There was no Facebook, none of this nonsense back then. You went in cold. You went in cold. You're there with your mates Friday night. You've had a couple of pints of lager. Got your shirt on, jeans pressed. Say to your mates, look, I'm going to go and get them birds over. When I bring them back, don't mess it up. Walk over to them. Evening, ladies. I know it must have hurt when you fell from heaven. Maybe if I were friends and I could ease the pain by buying you a few drinks. No, fair enough. Come and we're going. We're only coming here on lesbian night, aren't we? It's very nice that women don't have to worry about this nonsense now being pulled. It's great, isn't it, that they fancy you. You're in a nightclub or something, you're chatting to her, and she says, look, shut up. Shut up. I'm going to sleep with your brother. Calm down. Takes you home and uses you. You wake up in the morning a bit dishevelled. The cat's looking at you. The judgmental cat on the pine dresser. But the worst thing has happened in all the commotion. You've forgotten her name. Now, I'm a bit old-fashioned. I think if you chomped on someone's fanny, you should remember their name, you know what I mean? It's a little bit of a rule of mine. So, go downstairs, go through the post. Thinking. I'm a thinker. Crafty cockney. Oh, let's just have a look here. Oh, I can't call her the occupier. That'd be a bit much. But I'm not so old-fashioned, I don't think if you've slept with someone very quickly, there still might be something there beyond the lust. So you tend to go out for a date, don't you, on the Wednesday night after work. You don't want to mess your weekend up. You go express. Pizza Express, not a hut. Too soon for the hut. Hut comes later. It's got to be express early days. Marbling table flour. It's all going on. Now she's thinking, this geezer's all right as it happens. He's a bit of a stunner. He's not bad in the bedroom. Then you start proving you've got half a brain and all. She thinks he's a potential boyfriend. Ooh. Ooh, potential boyfriend. Suddenly you're getting this speech halfway through the 4 seasons. Listen, can I assure you, it's not my usual practice to sleep with men as quickly as I happen to have slept with you. And I'm like, relax, homeowner.
And this is what I'm talking about, the assumption that if you're in a place like that, you obviously are the help. Okay, example 2, that's it, white people. One more example, and then we're moving on, right? I'm on tour in the UK. I'm going up to Leeds. All my team was already up in Leeds setting up the theatre. I'm travelling with my tour manager and best friend, Lila, also a black woman. So I go, you know what? That's Lila. I go, you know what, Lila? Let's not drive. It's a long drive. Let's get a train and go up in comfort. So we rush down to the train station. I buy us 2 first-class tickets. There's a train leaving, so we jump on the train. Train takes off. And we're walking through the train towards the first-class carriage. We walk into the first-class carriage. This white woman is sitting at a table. She looks up, she sees us, and at the top of her voice, she shouts, this is first class! Now Lila goes, what the fuck did you say? And I hold Lila, no, Lila, no. I just grab her by a collar, no, Lila, no. No, Lila, no, Lila, no. Watch me humiliate this bitch just with my mouth. Come back. So at the top of my voice, I say, thank you, lady. But what was it about us that made you assume that we didn't belong in the first-class carriage? She starts to fumble. Everybody on the train just kind of leans out from behind their seats. And she gets flustered. She's like, and then all she could think of was like, I thought you were lost. And I was like, how'd you get lost on a moving train going in one direction, bitch? How? Now, this woman was not alone. She was with her husband. Her husband was sitting opposite her at the table, same table. But we did not see her husband's face for this entire confrontation because the entire time he was hidden behind the newspaper, just... His hands never came down. All we saw were his knuckles just gripping that paper. And they were in their 60s. So they'd obviously been married a long time, and he's behind that newspaper going, ah! Nosy, big-mouth cow! 30 years we've been married, and every day of those 30 years I've said, mind your own fucking business! And now we're both gonna get beaten up by these 2 black boys.
But as much as you want to save animals, I'm pretty sure you're not going to do it by buying cosmetics. Pretty sure you can't walk into the body shop and buy some burdock root peppermint oil foot scrub. And some little badger somewhere in Scotland is going to go, wow, I feel a whole lot better about my life right now. Somebody's buying that burdock root peppermint oil foot scrub. I don't see the point in testing cosmetics on rabbits anyway, because they're already cute. Slather some lip gloss and eyeliner all over them. Now they're all gussied up like some $3 whore. There's no dignity in that for a rabbit whatsoever. You want to test out cosmetics? Test them out on big game, because they stink. Get up under a hippopotamus there and get some roll-on deodorant under his armpit. See how fresh and self-assured he stays all day, huh? Little lip gloss on a beaver. Real beaver. Stay with me, fella. Real beaver. Right? Dam-building, log-eating beaver. If he's charged through 60 logs and he's still wearing that lip gloss, that's some damn good lip gloss right there, ladies and gentlemen. You know this whole thing about, you ever meet someone famous and you tell your friends, and then they say, well, what was he like? Because all they really want to hear is that he was a prick. That's why they like to say Tom Cruise is the nicest guy in Hollywood. You know, I always think, well, if I was making $8 million a film, I'd be nice too. Jesus Christ, but I'm not sure he is that nice. Because I always read these articles about how he's so insular and he's into his Scientology and he, you know, stays at a hotel, won't make eye contact with anyone in the hotel because he doesn't want to talk about the plots to his new films. Apparently, as if staring Tom Cruise in the face, he would just crack under pressure. What are you staring at? Hey, you want to hear about my new film? You ever seen a Tom Cruise film like he couldn't figure out the plot in about 18 seconds? Oh, Christ. He's a cocktail maker. He's a pretty good cocktail maker, too. Till he has a crisis of confidence and can't make cocktails anymore. And he meets a good-looking woman who talks him into being a better cocktail maker. A riveting piece of cinema that was. Then he's a race car driver. Pretty good race car driver, too. Till he has a crisis of confidence. Can't race cars anymore. Then he meets a good-looking woman who talks him into being a better race car driver. Then he's a jet pilot. Some of you are starting to see a pattern emerge here. Pretty good jet pilot? Yes, he was. Until he had a crisis of confidence, couldn't fly jets anymore. Then I believe he met a good-looking woman who talked him into being a better jet pilot. Then he was a sports agent. Then he was the brother of a retarded guy. He was a pretty good brother of a retarded guy until he had a crisis of confidence and wasn't so sure he was such a good brother of a retarded guy. And then he met a good-looking woman who talked him into being a better brother of a retarded guy. Then he was some kind of, I don't know what he's in now, War of the Worlds. Maybe he fights the world. And you know what? I bet he's a pretty good world fighter. But at some point he'll probably have a crisis of confidence. You're gonna meet a good-looking woman who convinces him it's okay to fight the world. Could be a Scrabble player for all I care. He's a pretty good Scrabble player. Till he draws all vowels. Has a crisis of consonants. And he meets a lovely Welsh woman who teaches him a lot of words he's never heard before.
Oh, yes. You know what I love about London town is we welcome all the people from all around the world, innit? I bet you he's got people from overseas in the house tonight. Overseas people, show me some love. Loads and loads and loads. What about over there? I saw a few people who was from overseas. Where are you from, guys? Australia, welcome the Australians. There's so many Aussies in London. We even got nicknames for each other. That's crazy. You call us Poms, innit? Yeah, we call you racists. Welcome, you legend, my man. Do you miss it out there, all the beaches and the barbecues and all that? Yeah, probably about time you pissed off home, innit? Jokes, 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 you legend. It's just banter. Do you know what I mean? We'll have a drink in the bar afterwards? Yes. Promise you'll serve me first, though. Welcome to you. This isn't this nice, all the different foreign people. Who else has we got in the house? Yeah, legend over there. You're proud of where you're from. Where you from? Wales. You idiot. They get well wound up when we call them sheep shaggers, innit? Don't know why you don't just stop it, but there you go. Welcome, geese. I've been to Wales. It's a nice place, isn't it? There's even like a time difference, ain't there, which I couldn't believe. Yes, I was in Swansea. They're about 8 years behind. Welcome to Wales, man. Who else has we got in? And it's nice. What's that, you legend?
Kenya!
Kenya? Oh, welcome, you legend. I've got African relatives of mine and I feel like there's a bond there. I never knew I had African relatives until I got an email out of the blue about 2 weeks ago. Welcome, welcome. I love it all, man. All the different cultures, all the different things, different accents. Ain't that fun? Everyone's got different accents. I hear different accents, I think of different things. I hear like Australian accent, I'm thinking sport. You know, I hear Italian accent, I'm thinking food. I hear Indian accent, I think I'm about to be put on hold. Welcome all of yous, man. Welcome all of yous. Because that's the thing about London, we do welcome ya. You know, come along, have a giggle. I'll say there's only one day every year when we don't welcome the foreigners. When we let all the frustrations on the foreigners out of the system. Just one day every year in London. London's, you know what I'm talking about, innit? That one day every year, we close down all the roads in the centre of London. Thousands of people chase after these 5 Kenyans. And a load of people in wheelchairs. It's not nice.
A lot of people feel bad about flying. I'm no different. And the thing is, I enjoy it. I enjoy flying. I love all the pomp and the faff at the airport. I quite enjoy the pat-down. I like it. The one bit I don't love is when I get onto the plane and I have to turn right and then walk through business class on my way to my bit. Because I lead a very lucky and privileged life, and this is really the only time in my life when I'm surrounded by people who think they're better than me and who can back it up. So if I'm honest, what I do is I release whatever greenhouse gases I've managed to store up throughout the day. Not very proud of that. But I was offered a gig recently. I was offered a gig to perform for the sustainability department of a big organisation, big company in Berlin. And they rang me up and they said, would Mr. Goldsmith like to fly business class? And I assured them, in no uncertain terms, that Mr. Goldsmith would, yes, make that happen, yes, do it now, immediately, please, yes. And if I'm totally honest, by the time I had been carried onto the plane by the pilot, gently sat down in my seat, tousled my hair. Nothing overtly sexual, definitely a spark. By the time I'd been offered a champagne cocktail for takeoff, don't mind if I do, metal cutlery, because obviously terrorists can't afford business class. I have to say, when I had undergone the treatment, I turned into the monster I despise. I'm so ashamed. By the time you rabble walked past on your way to cattle class... Sorry, that's what we call you. You wouldn't get it. You walked past with your laughable single piece of hand luggage. Really? I genuinely caught myself having this thought. I sort of thought out loud. I thought, maybe I have worked that little bit harder. It was awful. But I got to the show, did the show, and afterwards one of the producers said to me, and I've checked this since in detail, it's absolutely true. One of the producers said, did you know that business class travel, business class flight, generates 3 times the emissions of regular economy class travel? And that's absolutely true. It's 3 times worse for the climate. 3 times worse the emissions, because obviously you're using more space on the plane, the seat's much heavier, all the stuff they bring for you adds extra weight, plus your pockets are full of conflict diamonds, you know. So I thought, I'm going to use that knowledge as one of my little steps in the right direction. I thought, from now on, no more business class for me. I thought I will use it as an opportunity for some climate communication. The next time I get offered business class, I will decline on climate ethics grounds, because I tell you what, flying may feel fantastic. Business class may feel sensational, but nothing feels as good, gives you so much internal prestige as walking through business class, knowing that you were offered it, but declined on climate ethics grounds.
Oi, this is nice, isn't it? Yes! Is anyone here in their 40s? Is it? You're not in your 40s? Have you guys started walking like this yet? It happens like clockwork, you know? It's mad. Like, I'll be walking around the co-op like I'm in an art gallery, just... Reduced by how much? Not enough. That, and I've got a boner for linen. Ooh. In it. I literally go out shopping for fabric and I'm like, give me a fabric that will crease really easily. Yes. I want to iron it for at least an hour. That's for me. That and candles. Woo! Now listen, I used to party hard. And I found that burning your money via candles is a great replacement. When I say I like candles, yeah, I'm going diptyque, baby. Thank Thank you. I'm going Joe Malone. Fig for me. Which also, like, I'm from a council estate. What does fig really smell like? Does anyone... I'm just going on what Joe Malone told me, you know what I mean? These candles are expensive. I reckon for a £5 I could probably buy 50 figs, chuck it in the oven and just waft it around the house a few times. The dream is, yeah, I want enough money that I can light a Joe Malone candle when it's just me in the house. Come with me, people. Can you imagine coming home to your yard, it's just you in, and you're like, you know what? Fig for me. As it is, if you was over my house and I had a candle on the go, no lie, after about 20 minutes, I'll start thinking that's about £17 worth of scent now. What kind of friend is he anyway? Is that enough? I realise there's nothing more insulting than someone lighting your scented candles when you're not there to enjoy the scent. Innit? I had my brother house sitting for me, right? I was away for a couple of weeks. I walked back into the house. As soon as I opened up the door, I was like... I walked into the front room. This guy is reclining on my sofa, lighting his spliff with my Joe Malone candle. The ash was falling into the wax. I was like, you all right? Yeah, you good? Now, we know as British people, when our voices go high like that, we mean the opposite, right? The higher our voices go, the less we're about it. You know what I mean? If someone's like, you coming to a party? You're like, yeah! What that means is, I'm not coming to your party, mate. So I said, you all right? What are you doing? He's like, oh, it's just a bit of mood lighting, isn't it? It's like, IKEA tea light is mood lighting. That's not even it. It was a 3-wick candle. Only 1 wick was lit. Thank you.
I grew up in Dudley, in the West Midlands. Yeah, a lot of people grow up there because that's the only thing there is to do. What are you doing? Growing. In the 50s, my parents emigrated from Jamaica to Dudley. Yeah, Nancy, I'm going to say that again just for you. They emigrated from Jamaica to Dudley. Why? What was my dad thinking? Bloody blue sky all the time. I want hail and sleet and snow. All this joyous reggae music. Where can a man get some Des O'Connor? We need pack your bags, we're going to Dudley. They made me go to church every Sunday. The Pentecostal Church of God in Prophecy. See, that's a black name. White churches are always called things like St. Thomas's. We're all outside going, St. Thomas's what? St. Thomas's Epiphany of the Shining Light of God in Christ in West Bromwich? Now, that's a name. You arrived late for church. Sorry I'm late, I was reading the sign. It's as good as Stephen King. I went to Blue Coat Secondary Modern School in Dudley. A lot of bullying there. I mean, you know, back in the day, it was different as well. You get punched in the face, you keep it to yourself. Nowadays, you go straight to the head teacher. Peter Wilkins has been punching me every day since the start of term. I'm not going to teach him anymore. I've got a daughter, 17. She's got a pet name for me. Taxi. Yeah, because the only time I see her is in the car, and even then she gets in the back. I'm like, how was school? She's like, you're not one of those cabbies who's going to talk all the time, are you? Her childhood's different from mine. I mean, you know, when I was a kid, it felt like everybody in Dudley had permission to beat me. It wasn't just my mum. You know, I'd be mucking about in the street, suddenly, bam! Mrs. Fearon from number 14 slapped me around the face. Then she'd drag me to my house and tell my mum, Mrs. Henry, I saw Len misbehaving in the street, so I beat him for you. Do you know what my mother said to this woman? Thank you very much. I have 6 other children, help yourself anytime. We made a documentary in Dudley about my mum last year. My brother Paul said this on camera, no word of a lie. Len, when mum used to beat you, we used to think it was really funny. Bastards! Where's the solidarity in that? I'm getting my arse tore up, they're eating popcorn, they've pulled up chairs. Oh, it's not as funny as last week. Mom, work the ribs now, work the ribs. Mom, Harley Shuffle, remember? Harley, Boombaye. Mom, like Popeye, remember? Fabida, 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 fabida. When Mom used to beat me, she always said the same thing. I'm not doing this for me, it's for your own good. What parents are insane? I'm not doing this for me, it's for your own good. All the white people, what kind of parenting is that? Lamar's like, yeah, me too. Oh, man. You know what I'd like to see on television? Jamaican Super Nanny. Beat him if it's been bad, beat him if it's been good. Beat him to show how much you love him. Beat him till your arms hurt so much, you have to beat him for making your arms hurt so much. She wouldn't mess about, would she? All right, no. This is what I call the naughty cheer. What's that for? You pick it up and you beat him with it. I'm not doing this for me, it's for your own rotten good.
I'm married to a comedian. Did you know John Richardson? Oh, yeah. You know he is. Do you know, because I'm going on tour, my management company, they took a Facebook advert out and someone said, don't read the comments. So I did. There was just one that bothered me, and this guy had put, without trying to be too crude, how many has she had to get the career she's got? I mean, the answer's one, but... It's weird to applause that, isn't it? It's only weird for my granddad who's watching. That's not weird. You've made that weird for an 87-year-old. Anyway, but the thing, because I don't know if you've noticed, but I've started to do a bit of telly now, and I'm in this weird stage where I'm getting recognised, but I'm not used to it yet. And I walked in a pub last night, and there was a woman staring at me, and I thought, what are you fucking looking at? And then I realised, oh, it's me. I did, you know Michael McIntyre's The Wheel? Have you seen it? The game show? I lost someone £98,000. If you've seen the show, you know they go back down in the ground. When he went down, he turned to me and said, I've had a lovely day, thank you. That would have slapped me. We're both vegan now. I'm a vegan that likes steak for the iron, and John's a vegan when he's interviewed on TV. It's a weird life for him, though, you know. I've seen it through his eyes. The situations we're getting... Because he's been on TV 10 years. We went and did this gig, you know, in a school. And then we parked up, and he turned to me and he said, I've got to go. And I was like, oh, all right then, just wait till you get in. He was like, I've got to go now. And he didn't let me get out. He got on the back seat, and luckily we had a bucket because we've been to Seaside. We've got blacked out windows. And I got out, and there was two of his fans waiting for him. And they said, we've come all the way from Rotherham to see John. They said, where is he? I said, he's shitting in a bucket in the back of the car. And they said at the same time, we'll wait. But we're both vegan. And then when we go out for a nice meal, I'll order the steak for the iron. And he'll order butternut squash. And then he'll be looking at my steak and he's not listening to what I'm saying. And so what I do right at the end, I go, oh, I can't eat that last bit. Oh, what a waste, like that. And then we just swap the plates round and it's all in silence. And he eats this bit of steak And the look on his face after he's eaten it is like, you know those Facebook adverts that go viral of the deaf baby when it gets a hearing aid? Is its mother talk? That's what it's like.
It's hard to be a woman, you know, like a lot of women right now, we're posting naked or almost naked pictures online to show how confident we are. And in all the comments, other women will be like, you are so brave. Well, I really just think that means not a model. There's no soldier looking down at that picture being like, oh, what a brave lady. You know, a man posts a naked picture, he just loses custody of his kids. And if showing your weird body's brave, then the guy that masturbated in front of me on the subway is very brave. Because he had a real weird body. And he was making weird faces. He might be the bravest man I know. But that's the thing, we're supposed to care so much about our bodies as women, you know? And there's even campaigns that we should love our bodies and be confident in our bodies. Or we could just stop caring about it. Because you know who doesn't care about their bodies? Men. You know what men are? Successful. Men are presidents, men are CEOs. You've never heard a CEO go, I want to get profits up and keep costs down and love me for me. 3 p.m. we're going to have a meeting about how I can accept the fact that I have my mother's thighs. You know who should care about their bodies? Men. You have weird bodies, men. You're gross. Your balls are gross. I've never seen a guy be like, oh, I can't wait to get his pants off and see that weird bag of stuff between his legs. What is it? It's like when you go to a haunted house and you stick your hand in a jar, you're like, please be grapes. Balls seem like a real god whoopsie. It's like when you're putting together furniture and you got a couple leftover screws and you're like, well, those were supposed to go somewhere. I guess I'll hang them from a satchel. Even the name sounds like a mistake. What are you gonna call them? Scrotum. Okay. This is how you knew God didn't care about balls at all. Everything else important, he covered in bone. Balls, he was like, let them fly. You are so lucky we get our faces near them. If a woman puts your balls in her mouth, you should pay her a lot of money. And not in like a prostitute way, and like a, I don't know how else to say thank you. This is a very nice thing you just did to me. And you didn't get any pleasure out of it. There's not a single woman that's like, that's what does it for me. You were more of a saint than Mother Teresa for that. There's no way she ever did it. I get one wrinkle, my career is over. I put paint on my face just to leave my home. And you guys get to walk around with those wrinkly, dangly bags of crap. You should have to put makeup on them. Or at the very least, googly eyes. I don't know if that'd be better or worse, it'd be fun. He's happy, he's sad. He lost his boner. You guys get away with calling our boobs saggy. Your balls are saggy. You should wear a bra. And you make it fancy. All those women clapping, they meant yours.
I've got the memory of an elephant. I remember one time I went to the zoo and saw an elephant. I was disappointed to find that Dunkirk wasn't actually a biography of William Shatner. I accidentally kicked my dog early and it bit me on the bollocks. My mate said it's karma. I said, no, if anything, it's even more angry. I tell you what always catches my eye, short people with umbrellas.
put on a lot of weight, so I rang up Weight Watchers. I said, it's an emergency, can you send somebody round? And they said, yes, we can, we got loads of them. I was actually thrown out of Weight Watchers for making sarcastic comments at the weekly weigh-in. As you can imagine, I accepted the decision with huge grace, because they threw her out as well. I was watching TV, the announcer said there's a documentary about the clitoris on the red button, but I couldn't find it. I was in a fancy lingerie shop. I said, are these knickers satin? He said, no, they're new. I didn't know what to get my little niece for Christmas, so I asked my sister what she's into. Apparently, at the moment, she's mad about frozen stuff, so I got her some oven chips and peas. It's been a tough week. I got myself a memory foam mattress, and now it's trying to blackmail me. As a child, I was made to walk the plank. We couldn't afford a dog. I went on a positive thinking course. It was shit. You would be. And it was half empty. The area in a Nando's between the front and back door is called the peri-perineum. What I like most about that joke is that people who know what a perineum is usually haven't heard of Nando's. Ironically, there's only a very small overlap between the two. The doctor told me to lose some weight. I said, how? He said, don't eat anything fatty. I said, what, pies, chips, that sort of thing? He said, no, just don't eat anything fatty. Old lady names are very much back in fashion at the minute, like Lily or Elsie or Rose, and we wanted something like that for our daughter, but we couldn't decide, so in the end we just called her Nan. So we shall grow into it.
Are any Welsh people out there? Tell them! Tell them how good it is now! Oh, it's not shit anymore. We've spent millions, so it's not shit for you. That's the whole... Welsh people, where are you from? Fair enough, it's shit. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to explain that the place has improved and you lob Swansea and just lucky Swansea's still a desperate dump, isn't it? Let's face it. Devoid of any hope whatsoever, Swansea. Have you been? There's a sign on the way in that says, kill our children, not your speed, isn't there? Yes. I'm talking about places like Cardiff and the places that have... Yes! These places have improved. We've had development money. We've done... Cardiff Bay, have you been there? Go there on holiday. It's lovely. We've done it all up. You've got cafes and bars. You've got the sea down there now. It's amazing. True, down where the shit was, that's all sea now, most of it. And it's going to be amazing when they finish it. Has anybody seen the posters of what Cardiff Bay is going to be like when it's all done? It's not. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be people chatting, laughing, texting. Welsh people, these are, presumably. Having interesting conversations over dinner. We're all going to be a lot better looking by the time it's finished as well. You look out. Where are they going to get these people with fashionable glasses and teeth from in Cardiff? I got no idea. You've got to admire their optimism, haven't you? Fair play. Talking of optimism, you've got Cardiff Bay. I was there not long ago. Some of these restaurants, some of them have got tables outside. Al fresco dining in Cardiff. They're having a laugh on me. I tried to have a Twix at a bus stop in Wales a few years ago. It was too wet to eat, to be honest with you. Everybody's pretending it's Madrid. Come on, we'll sit outside. Your soup bowl's filling up faster than you can eat it, for Christ's sake. Stop raining! You never get past your starters after 7 hours of soup and rainwater. You give up.
That's true, your gin and tonic's overflowing, the little umbrella's blown inside out. Turn it back into the wind! Turn it back into the wind! It's waiters with frosted eyebrows fighting their way to the table. Spaghetti carbonara! Spaghetti carbonara! Sure, I'll get another one! I'll get another one! It's people throwing life buoys to their bread rolls. I'll pull you in! I'll pull you in! Peas being airlifted to safety. Oh, Wales is improving. Even the valleys. Go to the valleys on holiday. Even the valleys. They are. Shut your face. They're getting better. They're getting better, the Welsh. I did a gig in Pontypridd. Yeah, in the Welsh valleys. Were you there at the gig I did when there was a piece of sun-dried tomato on the stage? Not bullshit. In a real piece of sun-dried tomato. We couldn't even do the gig. Everybody was just staring at it. I couldn't get them back. I couldn't get their attention. That's not local to your area, is it? The sun-dried tomato. Hey, there was a pile-up in the valleys a few years ago because somebody mentioned satsumas. Did you read about that? Somebody's trod in that, haven't they? That's what's happened. Do you live here now, madam? Do you live here? Are you from the valleys?
My boyfriend is from the valleys.
Your boyfriend? It was probably him that trod in the sun-dried tomato and dragged it all the way back. That's what he probably stepped in the sun-dried tomato in London and took it all the way back to the... He must have been shitting himself on the way back. They'll kill you for that in Pontypridd, won't they? Get it off me! They're going to kill me! They're going to kill me! Ditch the shoe! Ditch the shoe!
I can't wait to get old. I'm looking forward to getting old. Old people can do what they like. You see any old person, they do what they like. I was on the bus the other day, this incredibly old woman got on, she went straight up to this guy who was sitting down and said, "How old are you?" This guy was like, 37. She said, "I'm 84. Get up." I was like, oh my God, she just invented human top trumps. This guy missed a trick. He should have demanded another round. Be like, all right, old lady, what's your top speed? No chance. I think the worst thing about having a baby, without a doubt, the worst thing about the whole pregnancy, I'd say even more painful than labour, was telling my parents that I was pregnant. Because my parents never talked to me about sex. They just never did that. I mean, to be fair on them, I think they operated on a need-to-know basis, and given I had a head brace till I was 17, they thought, do you know what? She doesn't need to know. But the only time my mum ever talked to me about sex, she once sort of in passing said, "Oh, by the way, when you make love to a man, put a towel down first." That's it. Both practical and disturbing. Put a towel down first. That's what she'd say. Put a towel down first. I thought, it's given me a pathological fear of sun loungers ever since. And my parents' towel collection. But I swear, I knew nothing about sex as a teenager. I think the closest I came to having sex at that time was when I was doing lengths in a local pool and a man accidentally butterflied over me. I mean, I lost my virginity so late in the end that when it finally happened, I wasn't so much deflowered as dead-headed. But I wish I was sexually confident. Like in my 20s. Love to be like that. Love to be a player. You know what I'm talking about? We all know people like this, people who are going to go like, I'm going to go out tonight and I'm going to get laid. I would love to be like that. I'd love to be the sort of person who could just walk into any nightclub with my towel. Like Gold Duke of Edinburgh award-winning piece of ass right here. Strippers. It's another person. Weirdly, I kind of admire strippers. I would love to be like a stripper. I would love to just be able to stand on stage and own it. Like, know I was sexy. That would be awesome. You know? I would be the world's worst lap dancer. I could not sit on a man's knee and not want to make giddy-up noises. And strip joints, they're designed to be alluring. I challenge anyone in this room, even if you agree with them or not, to walk past a strip joint and a bit of you is not like, oh my God, what's happening? Because they've got like the blacked out windows and the bouncers on the door. There's always a bit of you that's like, oh my God, what are they doing in there? And it's exactly the same feeling as when I was a kid and I used to walk past the school staff room. People walk past you and be like, oh man, what is happening in there? I mean, it turns out both are full of adults whose lives didn't work out as planned. The thing I find the weirdest about strip joints, if you've ever been to one, everywhere you go, all these big signs, do not touch the women! Please do not touch the ladies! As strippers always say, the fact that the men can't touch us, that's what makes our job really empowering. And I always think, well, that's not really empowering, is it? Because that's the same rule in every other workplace in the country. You don't walk in a shop and it says, welcome to Tesco's, don't finger the staff.
But I think women should just let it out. It's a big day in a girl's life when she can freely let rip in front of her bloke. It is. I think women should be having I farted in front of my boyfriend for the first time parties. I do. I think they should be ringing up their mums, just going, Mum, I've got something to tell you. Oh, darling, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? I just did a fart in front of Tom. Oh, darling, that's wonderful news, wonderful news. And what did he say? He didn't say anything. He just laughed and farted back. My little girl's all grown up. Meanwhile, Dad will be in the background just going, women are farting far too early in front of their boyfriends these days. It was 18 months before your mother even trumped in my direction. 6 months before she'd take a dump in the house when I was around. Yes. And also, I'll tell you something else we pretend as well. We keep the old, the lady garden quite tidy, us girls, don't we, in the early stages? We'll do little tricks with it. Look, it's the strip, it's the Brazilian. Oh, look, I put a hat on it, it's the Mexican. Like we do. We do all that in the early stages, and then after about a year, it looks like the back of the wardrobe that leads to Narnia. Well, if he wants it, he's going to have to work for it. People saying to me, Andy, you could try meeting people in a nightclub. You'll never meet anyone good in a nightclub because the nightclub environment is designed to have us make bad decisions. It is because it's dark, you can't see, you can't hear. You know what, if nightclubs want to be responsible, what they should do to help us out is just before the exit, they should have a brightly lit room where you can check out the person you're leaving with. Yes, they should. They should call it the Have a Sodding Word with Yourself lounge. And you would literally get women in there just going, oh my God, you're wearing a fleece. I couldn't tell because it's so dark in there. Okay, nice to meet you. But listen, if you meet somebody online, all I'm going to say is there's some safety things to take into consideration. Now, I met somebody through Twitter, just the once. I'll never do it again. And it was the most irresponsible thing I think I've ever done. And I spoke to a friend about it before we met up, and I said, listen, I've met this guy, and we seem to really like each other, and we're talking about meeting up. What do you reckon? Should I meet him? And before my mate even had a chance to say anything, I said, you know what? I am going to meet this guy. You know why? Because life's too short. And my mate just went, yeah, you're going to find out how short. And my mum says, she says, look, if you go on these dates, make sure you meet in a public place, okay? And I'm just going to add something to that. Public place, brill. Public house, excellent. Public toilet. Never meet in a public toilet. No good can come of it. Unless it's, you know them space-age toilets that they have outside, where you put the money in, press the button, and then the door opens. You know why? Because you can pretend it's blind date. How cool is that? You just put the money and press the button. And if you don't like it, just press the button really quickly. I don't know why, like, young couples, new couples have got this obsession with finding out how many people someone's been out with from before. Like, how many previous partners? This is a lose-lose situation, right? And if any of you have ever had that conversation or you think it's ever going to come up, this is what I say. This is what you should say, okay? Just say to the person that's asked you, you want to know how many previous partners? Okay, I'll tell you from the beginning, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, you, 6, 7...
I hated teaching, and it's a brilliant, wonderful, noble profession, obviously, teaching. I hated it because I didn't want to do it. The only thing that got me through those years were children, because, some of you parents will know, children are wonderful and weird. I used to teach a class in North London. You'll think I'm exaggerating this. I'm not. This is just one class I'm talking about. They were the strangest group of human beings I have ever seen assembled in one place, right? They were the strangest group of human beings ever in one. I include all of the series of Big Brother in that. Right, I'll talk you through some of them. There was a child called Marwood in that class, which isn't a real name, let's be honest. He was absolutely on a different planet to the rest of us. I'll prove it. I once said to him, Marwood, what are you going to do when you leave school? Straight away, he said, well, I'm going to be one of two things, sir. I'm going to be a gynecologist or a train driver. I said, they're rather contrasting professions, Marwood. This is only funny if you believe me, he wasn't trying to be funny at this point. He went, yeah, they are, aren't they, sir? I suppose at the end of the day, I just like tunnels. Fortunately, there was a child in that class that made up for all of them. Her name was Karen Powell. She was my favourite student of all time. She was 11 years of age, this big, and had two fascinating characteristics. Number one, her internal compass was buggered, right? So she was 10 minutes late to every single lesson and the school wasn't that big. 10 minutes late. The second was, even though she was 11, she spoke, for reasons best known to our creator, like a repressed 1940s housewife. And you think I'm exaggerating this, I am not exaggerating it. She would come into my class like this, hello, sir, how are you today? I say, I'm fine, thanks, Karen, how are you? She goes, yes, I'm very well, thanks. I'm very much looking forward to today's improvisation. I'll give you an example of her compass. She came to see me after a lesson. This is all verbatim quote. She went, excuse me, sir, can I have a word with you, please? And of course you can, Karen. What's the problem? Because I just wanted to say that I thought my performance in your lesson today was a little below par. I said, really? I thought you were great. No, I thought my use of characterization was paper thin. Thought the way I moved around the space was appalling. And my group work was something to be condemned, and I would like to offer you my most humble of apologies. I said, you listen to me, Karen Powell. You never need to apologise to me. You are my favourite pupil because you make me laugh my head off. Now go outside and enjoy your lunchtime. You've deserved it. She said, you know what? I think I will. I turned round at that point to do a little bit of admin, ladies and gentlemen. Karen was then faced with a choice. She could leave my room via the only exit, or she could go into my costume cupboard. I don't know what happened, but for safety, I'll tell you this. I locked my costume cupboard before I went for my lunch, then I went away for a whole hour. When I came back, I opened the cupboard, and I swear to you, that child was standing with her back to me in a scene from the Diddy Man remake of the Blair Witch Project, just doing this. And I went, Karen? She went, hello, sir. I said, have you been in there for a whole hour? She said, I'm rather afraid I have. I said, oh my God, I am so sorry. She said, don't you apologise to me. I've only got myself to blame. I'll see you later.
I'm going to make a concerted effort to be positive and happy, because that's what people like, apparently. And I get accused. I constantly get told I'm grumpy and miserable, and I'm not. I'm happy, I'm upbeat, I love being alive, love being a human. Being a human's unbelievable, isn't it? If you're a human, you really have nothing to moan about. I realised this year that being a human is the best on the planet. I was on a plane eating a chicken sandwich. That's not it. It's pretty good, though. I thought, I am eating a bird whilst I am flying. Unbelievable! I, a flightless land mammal, am consuming a bird in mid-air. Never mind the fact I just ordered a gin and tonic in a cloud. And it's because I think being a human is so easy that's why I get annoyed with people, because people don't seem to try as hard as I would like them to about life. And I am a perfectionist. Give us a cheer if you're a perfectionist. Fair few of you. The rest of you are annoying. You say it now, because you go around and you make mistakes and you drop things and you laugh about it because you think it's part of life's rich tapestry. It isn't. You should be trying harder. I like a massive perfectionist to the point that every mistake in my life counts the same. So, in my world, dropping a spoon is the same as running someone over. In that you didn't mean to do it and you did it, so you have to get angry about it and make sure it never happens again. And I watch people make mistakes. I came into London last year to do some gigs, and I was on the London Underground. I was on the Hammersmith and City line, which, if you don't know London, is the line that goes from Hammersmith into the city. Cockneys really don't piss around when they're naming their things. Oh, a bit of a tube line, Gary. It goes from Hammersmith to the city. Oh, yeah? What you going to call it? Don't muck about, Gary. Don't muck about. So anyway, I was on the underground, sat down, and I knew I needed 6 stops to get to where I was going. And opposite me on the tube are 2 young girls. They're all dressed up. They're going out for the evening. They're laughing. They're giggling. They're joking. They're generally pissing me off. You see, I'm not a big fan of public shows of joy. You see, my motto is: there's misery in this world. You just have to look for it. If something's broken, you can fix it, and if it's untidy, you can tidy it. And if someone's unhappy, you can make them laugh, and you've made their day a bit better. Happy people are finished. You can't help them. If you're happy, don't go out. Just stay at home and enjoy walls and ceilings. And my real issue with the happy is it's happy people who make mistakes, because they're so busy enjoying life, they've forgotten to do it properly. So I was on the underground, and these girls are laughing away, and they're a perfect example, because they're enjoying being together so much, they haven't noticed they've got on completely the wrong train. Right? So we're hurtling off in this direction, and they should actually be going in this direction. Right? And so about 5 minutes in, one of the girls cottoned on, and she tapped her mate on the leg, and she went... I would have been furious. Let's say it now. That's not funny, is it? What's happened there is you've just lost a big chunk of your life. The time you were going to spend doing the thing you've left the house to do, you will now spend correcting your ineptitude. I know some people say, once you've got on the wrong train, John, there's nothing you can do but laugh about it. But the only reason you would ever laugh in this situation is if you do this so often, you've just had to learn to find it amusing. Done it again. What are we like? I'll tell you. Shit at being alive, it would appear.
I just celebrated 9 years of marriage just the other day. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. 9 years married to the same person. Jesus Christ, man. Listen, man, I'm just glad I'm no longer dating. I'm glad. Because dating right now is the ghetto. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy to date. And you know what? The thing about dating is, every time I see someone out, I'm like, how are you affording this? You know what I'm saying? It's a cost of living crisis. When I see people out eating food, I'm just like, I don't know how you're doing this. Even I'm on TV, and I still take my wife to the local chip shop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you're not getting this Taskmaster money. No. Nah, man. The dating. Back in the day, I used to get rejected a lot because I'm short. You know what I'm saying? Short guys, yeah, we don't get no love, man. Short guys. I'll be on the phone talking to girls, and I'll be like, you know, yeah, biz, I want to take you out. She'll be like, oh my God, how tall are you? I'll be like, yeah, I'm 5 foot. Hello? Hello? I am happy. I am married, and I've got 2 wonderful children. Me and my wife got 2 beautiful children, 8 and 1, right? Now, the 8-year-old, that's a boy, right? And my boy is crazy. Make some noise if you got sons in the building, make some noise. So you know what I'm talking about. Boys are crazy, right? It's not just me. Have you ever just looked at your boy and been like, what the hell are you doing? Every day, all right? My son is obsessed with superheroes. He loves superheroes, right? Which is a bit weird in our household because we're like devout Christians, like especially my wife. We love going to church, right? My wife is definitely getting into heaven, 100%. Like, hopefully, I'm her +1. I hope, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, no, I'm with her. No? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I bring that up is because last year, Halloween, my son, he wanted to go trick-or-treating, right? Which is a bit weird in our household. Again, we're Christians. And he was just like, Mom, I want to dress up as a superhero. And my wife was just like, there is no superhero in this house other than Jesus Christ. So she dressed him for Halloween as Jesus Christ. This guy went out trick-or-treating, giving out bread and wine. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, God bless you. Yeah, God bless you too. Oh, God bless you. One day, me and my son, we were at home. We're by ourselves, right? I'm downstairs, I'm watching TV. My son is upstairs, right? He's doing whatever he's doing, right? And it got silent. And you guys know what happens when it goes silent with a child. It means they're doing something they should not be doing. right? And then out of nowhere, I hear a loud thud, just boom. I'm like, oh, God, what's that? And then my son's just like, Daddy! So I run to the hallway, and my son is standing at the top of the staircase, dressed in a DIY superhero outfit, right? And he's just standing there, he's like, look, Dad, I'm a superhero. And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, son, you might want to take that off before your mom comes home, all right? And he's just like, no, Dad, look, I can fly. And as soon as he said that, I'm not gonna lie, it got slow motion in my house. I was like, no. And my son was like, a part of me was just like, let me let him fly so he can break his legs, you know what I'm saying, and calm down.
So I came to Britain in the early 80s. We were refugees long before it became fashionable. But my favourite immigrants are Polish people because they've properly confused old-fashioned racists. Have you seen them? They don't know what to do. What do we do? What do we say? They're immigrants, but they're white. I heard this one bloke go, bloody Poles coming over here with their work ethic. Which isn't very politically correct, and I try so hard to be politically correct. Sometimes I take it too far. I was at a party recently and I said to my friend, have you met Steve? He's a really nice guy. My friend goes, which one's Steve? Steve was the only black guy in the room. I found myself going, Steve, yeah, he's over there. He's got blue jeans on, a grey T-shirt, sort of curly hair, and a Nigerian accent. And once I was performing at a comedy club and there was two black guys in the front row, like you two, but men and black. You are a man, sir, I'm sorry. It's the lights. And I said to them, so how do you two know each other? And they looked at each other and went, we don't. Might as well have had NF tattooed on my forehead. I didn't, it was felt tip. I like friendly, a little bit of friendly racism is nice. When I was a little girl, I used to always go to my friend Katie's house, and every time her dad opened the door, he'd go, hello, Shappy, been on holiday? So, I have a little boy, I have a baby boy, I'm a mum, and I'm looking at you, some of you are so young, I could be your mummy if I lived somewhere rural. Like a lot of women, I got to my 30s and I thought, I've got to have a baby now. Why, my mum's still young enough to look after it for me. And I went to all the antenatal classes, and this woman came up to me, one of the other mums goes, oh, how are you planning on losing your baby weight? And I was like, well, I was just thinking of having the child. And she was like, oh, I'm going to be a yummy mummy. I'm going to lose all my yummy mummy. That's just like a middle-class way of saying MILF. I was so happy when I found out that I was pregnant. And we had a scan and we knew that it was a boy. And people said to me, why did you find out the sex of your baby? Didn't you want a surprise? Well, it's going to be a boy or a girl, do you know what I mean? The only surprise would have been if it was a puppy. And there are no puppies in my family. There's one goat, it's not a blood relation. Thank goodness I have a child now. It was no fun being a broody Iranian woman. Every time I said to people, my body clock's ticking, they'd hit the ground. So with all that going on, when I did find out I was pregnant, I was so delighted. I thought, I am going to fill this child's life up with love and hope and understanding. My husband's reaction was slightly different. He walked around going, woohoo! My soldiers worked! It's It's not his. Oh, the fuss he made when he found out I was cheating on him. Only child. Can't share. My husband's English, he's from Nottingham, and a lot of people ask me if my husband's Iranian. And I go, well, he's not, he's English, but he's planning to convert. His family are absolutely lovely, and when they first met me, they kept going, oh, Shappy's so exotic, she's so exotic, which means foreign, but not in a way that we hate.
When I was growing up, we had one telephone in the house, in the hallway. Anybody my age remember that? Yeah. One telephone. I'll be like that. Listen, I can't talk for long. Dad is staring at me. Like, Dad, can I have some privacy? And he'd go, privacy, buy your own house. At school, the one thing I remember from school, though, teachers, finger painting. Remember that? I love that, because I come from inner city London, right? And it was only later on in life that I realised that it was our headmaster's ingenious way to get our fingerprints early. Yeah, he'd say, most of you will go on to offend later on in life. I'm merely cutting out the middleman. Also, one of the things I seem to remember from school, folks, right? One of the main things I remember is that I'm not a very sporty child. Not sporty at all. And it dawned on me, right? If you're a white kid at an all-black school and you're not sporty, people assume you're academic. But if you're a black kid at an all-white school, you can't dance or sing, people assume you're adopted. But the one thing I loved at school was the power of the note. Forget the man who invented the television, forget him. Forget the man who invented the internet, the power of the note. The note could get you out of anything. PE? No! I got a note. Jabs? I got a note. If only the note could follow you later on in life. Can you imagine me in the military, in a Chinook helicopter over Afghanistan? Private Amos, jump! I can't, I got a note. Mom says, don't jump, not in these shoes. You get me? And the leader of the free world, Barack Obama, wow, look at that. If Barack Obama was a kid at my primary school and said to my careers advisor, I want to be the president, the careers advisor would have gone, well, Obama, obviously a temporary careers advisor, I can definitely see you on the campaign bus driving it. Also, folks, I want to be a bit honest as well with you tonight. I'm very much into same-sex relationships because I think it's very important that you're both into the same kind of sex. Otherwise, it can create friction. Thank you. And people say to me, Steve, are you gay or bisexual? And I go, definitely gay. There's no two ways about it. And that's one positive thing about being gay, because a lot of those skills are transferable. Is that too much? But my mum's take on it is this. If my mum saw me having sex with a man, she'd be like this. Oh, the man my son is having sex with, he is the gay one. That's my mum. But my friends, you know, they're quite bad at trying to set me up. I say to them, I like a man in uniform. Barry from B&Q wasn't quite what I had in mind. But as I say, I'm having fun at the moment doing this job, and you look at me, yeah, I've actually been asked to host the Live of the Apollo. Yeah. And Lenny Henry isn't dead. No. He's just locked in a room at the Premier Inn.